So I didn't grow up in a home where I felt wanted or really truly loved. I wasn't in church really at all in my life. I didn't know much about God. I knew He created us and everything around us, but that's really all I knew. I accepted that and I believed it, but I didn't know more. I knew a little bit about Jesus, but not the full extent of His love and really what He did for us. And so that was just kind of my background in church. My parents divorced when I was 4 years old, and I never had stability in my life. We moved sometimes few months, every couple of years. I changed schools a lot. I had to change friends a lot, and so I didn't really have anything consistent in my life. I lived with my mother for a short time, about 2 years, and within that 2 years, and even when I was younger, she was very physically abusive, to the point where she even starved us for a long time. And we were removed from the home and put back with my father, and he was a good dad for quite a while in my life, but eventually he ended up just kind of caring more about himself than really us and the needs of his kids. And from about the time I was 3 years old until I was 10, on and off, I went through a lot of sexual abuse as well, which was really difficult for me, and I suppressed that for a very long time until towards the end of my high school years, when it just kind of exploded in my face. And that was probably the hardest thing I ever went through, especially since it was for such a long time, and I didn't really know what to do about it or who to talk to, or that it really just wasn't okay. And I eventually moved to Durango when I was 13 years old to live with my aunt and uncle, and that was one of the biggest changes in my life. That was just such a drastic change for me, to go from this life of inconsistent and instability to really just a stable home and a stable environment, and getting into the groove of everything and living with them was definitely a struggle, but eventually I really learned what it was like to be loved. And when I was about 15, my aunt adopted me as her own child and took me as her own child, and I call her the mom that I have today. And when I was in 8th grade, my sister went to prison for life, and she was just the most important person in my life. And I thought that I was never going to see her again, and my world was it was shattered, it was gone. Everything in my past was just kind of coming up to the surface, and I was still trying to just shove it under the rug, and I didn't really know what to do. I didn't know that I was able to speak up and say that I was struggling and saying that I was hurting, and I eventually went to such a dark place that I didn't want to live anymore, and I wanted to take action on that, and God stopped me that day. And it was definitely a clicking point in my head that God was real. God was there. God wanted me, and I didn't know what that was like before. And 2 weeks later, in church, I accepted Christ. And I talked to my aunt and uncle about it, and I eventually talked to Jeff about it, and we decided that Easter Sunday that year, I was going to be baptized here in church, and that was just a really amazing experience, and it was definitely very nerve-wracking. And I didn't really know what to do with my faith. I had all these people telling me what to do, but I didn't really feel it yet. I didn't understand the importance of really following Christ and what that meant and what that entailed, and just how important that was with that relationship and growing. And maturing in your faith. And so I just kind of went along, not really doing anything about it really until I was in college. And I went to Fort Lewis after my second semester of college, and I joined Connect, and everybody there was just so open and full of love and full of Jesus. You could see it everywhere, and it was definitely new for me to be surrounded by that just every single day, like in your dorm, in your class, like just every day surrounded by those people. And that really just helped me to grow and to really pursue after the Lord. And I've just kind of been pursuing after that ever since, and I've just been so on fire for the Lord, and I've just really matured in my faith, and God has just put such a passion in me to help other people, and especially to help kids. And so I've been a camp counselor this past summer at a camp all summer long, which was the most amazing experience I could have ever asked for, and going on a mission trip this past spring break. And I really want to pursue being a social worker for kids in foster care and kids that have been through a lot of what I've been through, and to really just give them the Lord where they probably wouldn't ever have it before. And I've even been in training to be a Say So advocate, which is the sexual assault organization here in Durango, and so I've just been kind of following that.